Hey there, back again. Welcome to my channel. It's Markara Feather Strong, and I'm here with part two of 43, what it doesn't mean. Well, the number two thing that being 43 does not mean is that I have it all figured out. The constant looking on social media, especially, the constant comment of hearing, aren't you too old for that? Shouldn't you know this by now? Old enough to know better? Um, are we past that stage? It's a common thing to assume the older you are, the more mature you are, the more sensible, smarter, intelligent, all that, whatever word you want to choose. The thing is, the years that go by don't determine your maturity level, your capabilities, your abilities, your comprehension. The years that go by look different for each person. The environment, the input, the each person's existence is so different. So the expectation that you'd have it all figured out, or mostly figured out, or more figured out than before is unrealistic, because what you unravel in your 40s could be stuff that you were unraveling in your 30s, which was stuff that you were unraveling in your 20s. So to me, there's a constant winding of this thread on a spool, and as you're winding that, you're unraveling it from another spool. So to me, it's a lifelong action. It's a lifelong thing that's going on, where what you thought you believed today may not be what you believe next year. I admire people who find a thing, commit to a thing, and that's their thing. But in a lot of things for me, that's not been the case. And sometimes I feel like it's hard to find my tribe where people get that there are just certain things that I can't keep as my thing. Like, the few things that are consistent for me are motherhood, being a partner, and being a creative. Um, Otherwise, everything else is open to coming and going. Um, and I'm just always open to new information, whether or not I make that a belief or not. I'm not worried about what people think anymore in certain regards because I feel like being closed minded to the point where you don't want to hear information is a problem. There is nothing wrong with believing a thing you believe, but being disrespectful and unopen to hearing other sides, to me, that is a complete and utter issue. Um, and it's just, I don't understand how people think that in this existence you could ever have it all figured out. We change every day, energies change every day. The environment around us has subtle shifts in it every day. We exist with other humans that are going through their own versions of shit every day, and yet there are people who I don't know, for an example, when you're making plans for the future and you feel like you'll set them in stone because this is what I'm going to accomplish by the time I'm 25. What happens when you get to 25 and it isn't done? Are you going to fall apart? Is your life going to fall apart? What happens when you're 35 and you're still chasing what it was that you were trying to accomplish at 25? Does it make you less than? Does it make you more of a failure than someone else? We're constantly looking at life through other folks' lens, or what we think life looks like through other folks' lens. You can never truly know what it looks like. We're always comparing ourselves. We're always wondering why them and not me. Um, but sometimes you don't know the behind the scenes. You don't know the struggles. A lot of people just put the good foot forward all the time. A lot of people make it seem like they have it all together. I know it's something that I sort of flip flop back and forth with. I started my channel sort of as a vlogish type thing while I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do or what direction I wanted to take. And then I got more formal with my content, and I still wasn't entirely happy. And now I'm sort of back to a vlogish type thing just to see what happens. And I realized no one has it figured out. We can all get together, we can all talk and support each other, we can share what we have learned and what we know in a given moment, but that does not mean that that will apply next year, next week. So bearing that in mind, I think it makes our existence easier. So at 43, I don't think that I have it all figured out. Even when I'm asked my opinions and my thoughts on parenting, education, relationships, I give them, and I give them based on my experience, but I also give them based on input from other folks that I have dealt with, supported, spoken to, interacted with, and knowing that there are so many different people in existence, that gives you, like, for example, if I hold a support group for 10 people and we're having a support group on everyone who likes the color purple, excuse me, we're going to have 10 views on the color purple. We're going to agree that we all love the color purple. We're all going to agree on purple being the most amazing color ever. We're going to agree on what should be purple, what did we choose to be purple, what, whether we wear purple, whether it's our makeup, our clothing, our hair, and all these things. But you're also going to have 10 different levels of the love of purple. You're going to have someone who likes it and chooses it whenever, and then you're going to have someone who wants to live in a purple house with purple rooms and a purple car, so forth and so on. So I said to say that it's just, you could think that you had it figured out in creating this group because you're looking for a tribe of people who like purple. But you may be someone in the middle who feels like, oh, that person doesn't love purple enough, and this one loves it a bit too much. But that's what makes life exciting and interesting, because you have this varying degree of perspectives, of comprehension, these varying degrees of what people think. And given that, I don't think there's a way to have it all figured out. And especially in our schools and certain things, you you can have been someone doing something for a certain amount of time and not encountered a challenge, and then one day you finally come upon a challenge and you have to sit down and figure out how to manage that because you've never encountered that. That lets you know you didn't have it figured out like you supposed you did. So, yep, 43 doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. Far from it. So, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you in part 3 of 43 and what it doesn't mean.